Elon Musk's name doesn't usually come up in conversations about Social Security, but that changed after the Doge data controversy exploded. Under a department he oversees, millions of sensitive Social Security records were reportedly transferred to an insecure cloud server, sparking fears of data breaches and potential fraud. This isn't just a tech mishap. It's part of a larger storm hitting the Social Security system right now.
Backhand index pointing right. If this information helped you, don't stop here. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you're always one step ahead. We break down important updates like this clearly so you're never caught off guard. Join our community, stay informed, and take control of your financial future, starting today. Flexed Biceps Calendar.
Between the prolonged government shutdown, a wave of sophisticated scams targeting seniors, and a tangled web of policy debates over program sustainability, beneficiaries are left wondering not just when their checks will arrive, but what could threaten them next. Amid all this chaos, one thing remains steady. November's Social Security payments are still landing on time. The infrastructure might be crumbling, local offices might be under strain, and digital security may be far from airtight, but the core promise of disbursing benefits hasn't faltered. Still, the warning signs are everywhere. A delayed COLA announcement for 2026, talks of raising the retirement age, and growing concerns about whether benefits can keep pace with rising Medicare costs. The system is holding, but just barely. November 2025 is here, and for millions of seniors, disabled individuals, and vulnerable Americans, that means one question is top of mind. When will my Social Security check arrive? And will it even arrive at all? The good news. Despite everything, yes, your November Social Security benefits are scheduled and expected to arrive on time. Amid a chaotic government shutdown and a barrage of internal issues, the Social Security Administration has managed to keep payments flowing. But don't mistake that for everything being okay. It's not. The system is strained to its limits. The infrastructure is decades old, the workforce is stretched thin, and in-person services are harder to access than ever. And all of this is happening at a time when security concerns are exploding. Let's start with the basics. Your payment schedule for November remains intact. Those who receive benefits based on birth date, typically the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th Wednesdays of the month, can expect no delays. Supplemental Security Income (SSI) beneficiaries, those on disability, and others receiving regular monthly payments are not seeing interruptions. That's the official line from SSA. But behind the scenes, the structure holding it all together is cracking. One of the biggest issues right now is technology. The Social Security Administration is running on infrastructure that would be more at home in the 1990s. That's not an exaggeration. With limited modernization over the years and funding stretched by political gridlock, the tools used to process claims, issue checks, and assist beneficiaries are badly outdated. That's made worse by the fact that hundreds of local offices are operating at reduced capacity, or in some cases are outright shuttered, due to staffing shortages and shutdown-related disruptions. If you've tried to get in-person help recently, you already know how impossible it feels. And then there's the Doge data controversy. This one's alarming. Sensitive personal records, millions of them, were moved to a cloud storage system that experts are calling unfit and vulnerable. This wasn't some rogue operation. It happened under a department affiliated with none other than Elon Musk. The idea was to create a faster, more efficient data solution. What it turned into was a mess of security holes and unanswered questions. Beneficiaries are now being told to monitor their bank accounts, freeze their credit if needed, and stay alert for identity theft or suspicious activity. This isn't fear-mongering, it's necessary. If you receive Social Security, stay vigilant and check with official SSA channels to confirm your records are secure. Meanwhile, scammers are taking full advantage of the confusion. Fake letters are being mailed to seniors, some looking like they're from the government, claiming that benefits are suspended, that personal information is needed to avoid jail time, or that urgent action is required to keep payments going. It's cruel, it's illegal, and it's spreading fast. If you get anything suspicious in the mail, don't respond. Don't call the number. Don't click the link. Contact the Social Security Administration directly. Verify everything. Because in this climate, trusting the wrong source could cost you everything. Then there's the delay in the COLA announcement for 2026. Normally, by early October, beneficiaries would know how much of an increase they're getting next year. Not this time. Thanks to the shutdown, the announcement has been postponed. While analysts are still projecting a cost of living adjustment between 2.6% and 2.8%, no one knows for sure yet. And that lack of certainty is a problem for millions of people who rely on Social Security not just as a check, but as their budget. Because even if that 2.8% increase hits, it might not feel like a gain. Why? Medicare premiums. They're expected to go up, and fast. For many, that COLA increase will be wiped out almost entirely by higher healthcare costs. That's the reality. An extra $30 on your check, and $40 more pulled from it for medical coverage. It's not a raise, it's a shuffle. And for retirees on fixed incomes, it means yet another year of struggling to keep up. Behind all of this, the policy debates are heating up. There are serious talks underway about reforming SSDI eligibility. The goal: cut costs. And in Washington, cut costs often means make it harder to qualify. These reforms are being discussed in committees, quietly, under the radar of most media. But if enacted, they could mean longer wait times, tougher documentation requirements, and fewer approvals for disability benefits. Combine that with a broader conversation about Social Security solvency, raising the retirement age, increasing payroll taxes, and you get a clear picture. The future of these benefits is being shaped right now. And let's not forget the trust fund. It's projected to run dry by 2033 if no reforms are made. That doesn't mean Social Security stops, but it does mean benefits could be reduced substantially. That's not a distant future. That's 8 years from now. Unless Congress acts, millions of Americans could be staring down a system that pays them less and asks them to wait longer to get it. All of this brings us back to one core message. Benefits are secure for now, but only for now. If you're a Social Security recipient, here's what you need to do. First, double-check your payment schedule through your My Social Security account. Stay informed. Do not rely on random social media posts, text messages, or phone calls. Second, monitor your financial accounts regularly, especially in light of the DOGE data transfer controversy. If something looks wrong, act immediately. Third, educate yourself about scams. Talk to family, friends, caregivers, anyone who helps you manage your benefits about what to watch for. No legitimate SSA representative will ever threaten jail time or demand payment in gift cards. Period. And finally, start planning now. That COLA increase might help, but rising Medicare premiums could eat it whole. Review your monthly budget, adjust where you can, and prepare for more policy changes ahead. 'Cause they're coming. Whether it's eligibility, retirement age, or taxes, Social Security is heading into turbulent territory. Stay one step ahead. This November, your check is on the way. That's the win. But the battle for long-term security, modernization, and transparency, that's still very much underway. If this video helped you understand what's happening with your benefits, make sure to like it, share it with friends and family who need this information, and leave a comment below with your questions or concerns. We read everything. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We break down the facts, cut through the confusion, and give you what you need to know straight up. For now, stay safe, stay sharp, and stay connected to the right sources. Your benefits depend on it. Let's dig deeper into the realities people are facing today. Because while November's checks are landing on time, the situation is far from under control. The Social Security Administration is walking a tightrope, and that rope is fraying. There's no denying the system has held firm against some serious pressure. Shutdowns, cyber threats, staffing issues. But the cost of holding it all together, showing. Wait times are up. Office closures are more frequent. And if you've tried calling the SSA recently, you know the drill. Endless hold music, dropped calls, or just getting looped back to square one. The frustrating part is that it's not about laziness or apathy. It's a system buried in paperwork and dependent on ancient software. Some of the tools in use today date back to before smartphones even existed. And yet, This is what we rely on to manage benefits for over 70 million Americans. That's not just outdated. That's reckless. And now, seniors are being asked to navigate all of this digitally. Local SSA offices are running on skeleton crews. If you need face-to-face assistance, especially for things like name changes, appeals, or applying for disability, good luck. Most of the help has moved online whether people like it or not. And here's the problem. Not everyone can make that leap. Many older adults don't have access to secure internet. Others struggle with digital literacy. And when scammers flood the inbox pretending to be the government, it becomes almost impossible to know who to trust. The shift to digital-only support may seem efficient on paper, but in practice, it leaves a lot of people behind. And let's talk about trust. Because the DOJ data breach controversy has shaken it to the core. This isn't a hypothetical risk. It's a real, documented transfer of private, sensitive records into a system that security experts say wasn't ready. And it happened under a leadership framework that prioritized speed over safety. The fact that Elon Musk's affiliated department had anything to do with it, that raised a whole new level of scrutiny. The decision to prioritize flashy tech initiatives over stable, secure infrastructure left Social Security data exposed. At a time when scams are already soaring, beneficiaries are now being urged to monitor everything. That's bank accounts, credit reports, and even IRS filings. Because the worst-case scenario is not just someone opening a fake account in your name. It's someone replacing your direct deposit information and siphoning off your benefits entirely. That's already happened to people in past breaches. And now the warning is clear. Don't wait until it happens to you. If anything looks suspicious, bank changes, strange mail, new credit cards, act immediately. Freeze your credit if you're concerned. And contact the SSA directly using the official website or the phone number listed on their verified government pages. Because let's be honest, scammers are getting smarter. They use official logos. They time their messages around shutdowns and benefit cycles. They rely on fear. They create urgency. They tell you your payments are at risk. And unless you confirm your information right now, you'll lose everything. It's a lie. Every time. But for someone who's already anxious or overwhelmed, it can be convincing. Let's move back to the financial part of this crisis. The delayed COLA announcement. In a normal year, retirees would have heard by now how much more they'll be receiving starting in January. But this year is anything but normal. The shutdown in Washington delayed the release of key economic data. And that's the foundation for calculating the cost of living adjustment. Without that data, no COLA figure. Right now, most experts are projecting a 2.6% to 2.8% increase. Modest but meaningful, especially for people living on fixed incomes. But even if that turns out to be accurate, it's not all good news. Because Medicare premiums are rising. Again. And that means any gain from COLA could be neutralized or even reversed. You get a $45 boost on one side and a $50 deduction on the other. That's not a raise. That's just government arithmetic that leaves you treading water. It's not just about how much the check is. It's about how far that check can stretch. And with inflation still hitting food, gas, rent, and medication, seniors are telling us over and over again, we're not keeping up. We're falling behind. The impact is clear. More people are delaying retirement. More are dipping into savings earlier than planned. More are relying on food banks, housing assistance, or family support. These aren't rare cases anymore. They're part of a growing pattern. And what's Congress doing about it? They're debating reforms that could make things even harder. The policy conversations happening behind closed doors are concerning. Some lawmakers are proposing stricter rules for SSDI eligibility. That means more documentation, longer wait times, and yes, more denials. They say it's about preventing fraud. But for real people who are genuinely disabled and need that support to survive, these changes could be devastating. Others are floating ideas to push back the retirement age. That means working longer just to qualify for full benefits. Good luck telling a 64-year-old with back problems who's worked construction for 40 years that they should wait 2 more years. That's not reform. That's punishment. Then there's the tax side. Some want to raise the payroll tax cap, which would bring more revenue into the system. Others oppose that. So while they fight it out, the trust fund keeps ticking towards zero. The trust fund, that's the money that makes up the difference when payroll taxes fall short of benefit payments. It's projected to run dry by 2033. And when that happens, benefits could be automatically reduced by nearly 25% unless Congress acts. Let that sink in. $1 in $4 gone. That's the reality if we keep kicking the can down the road. But we can't end this without talking about resilience. Because despite everything, the shutdown, the scams, the tech failures, the delayed announcements, the checks are still arriving. That's a testament to the civil servants keeping the wheels turning, even in a broken machine. It's also a reminder that while the system may be strained, it hasn't collapsed. Not yet. And that means we still have time to demand change, push for modernization, and protect the people who rely on these benefits the most. So here's what you need to do. Stay informed. Don't wait for someone else to tell you what's happening. Check the SSA's official website. Sign up for verified email alerts. Don't rely on third-party sources that might spread misinformation. Monitor your information. With the data breach concerns hanging over this system, it's more important than ever to protect yourself. Check your direct deposit settings, review your banking activity, and don't give out your social security number to anyone you don't trust completely. Aloud. If you're tired of delays, if you're worried about benefit cuts, if you think Congress needs to act, say something. Call your representatives. Tell your story. Because the people making decisions in DC need to hear from the people actually living with the consequences. Most importantly, stay alert, stay skeptical, and stay engaged. Your benefits are too important to be taken for granted. Keep checking with the Social Security Administration through their official channels. Only they can confirm the status of your benefits and guide you through secure procedures. Here's the harsh truth. Social Security is still standing, but it's not standing strong. It's staggering forward, barely keeping up with demand. And it's doing so under a government that treats the issue like a political football instead of the lifeline it truly is. Look around. People aren't just worried about whether their November check arrives. They're worried about next year and the year after that. They see the warning signs. They hear the talk of reforms. They've read that ominous 2033 projection. The message from Washington. Don't panic, but we're not doing much to stop it either. And that's not okay. Millions depend on this system not because they want to, but because they have no other choice. Social Security isn't a luxury. It's not a bonus. It's rent. It's medication. It's groceries. And it's being undermined by everything from political gridlock to cybersecurity negligence. Let's go back to that DOJ data breach again because it's not going away. This wasn't some minor clerical error or forgotten password. It was a systemic failure. A decision was made to store massive amounts of personally identifiable information in a cloud system that was known to be vulnerable. This happened under a federal department that put flashy innovation ahead of basic safety protocols. People's names, social security numbers, banking info, all shuffled into a high-risk setup without proper oversight. And when it blew up, there was no apology, no clear explanation, just vague statements about enhanced monitoring and reviewing internal processes. That's not good enough. Seniors, disabled Americans, and survivors deserve better. They deserve a system that protects their information as fiercely as it protects the checks they depend on. In fact, data privacy should be non-negotiable. But right now it's a mess. That mess is exactly what scammers exploit. And they're getting more creative. Sending letters that mimic official SSA notices, emails that link to cloned websites, even robocalls with automated voice prompts that sound real. They know how to prey on fear. They use phrases like account suspended, fraudulent activity detected, or action required within 48 hours. But here's the rule. Social Security will never ask for your full number over the phone, never threaten arrest, and never ask for gift cards or wire transfers. If anyone tries that, hang up, throw it out, report it. And yes, contact the real SSA if you're unsure. Because in this climate, Waiting too long to report something wrong can lead to lost benefits, stolen identities, and months of cleanup. Now let's get back to the COLA delay, because that might be the most immediate threat to financial planning right now. No COLA announcement in October. That's a serious disruption. People need that number. They base their budgets on it. They factor in rent hikes, insurance increases, prescription costs. And with inflation still grinding people down, even a modest 2.6% raise matters. But remember, Medicare Part B premiums are also climbing. That means for many, the actual take-home bump will be minimal, if it exists at all. You might get $45 more per month, but if your Medicare cost goes up $50, you're not just breaking even, you're losing ground. And no, Congress hasn't stepped in with any relief yet. They're too busy using the shutdown as leverage in other fights, treating seniors' peace of mind like a side issue. And what about the long-term fixes? We keep hearing about raising the retirement age. That's one of their go-to solutions. But let's break that down. Who does that hurt? Wealthy desk job workers who can afford to coast until 68 or 70. Or working-class Americans, nurses, bus drivers, factory workers, whose bodies are worn out at 62. You raise the retirement age, you're punishing the people who need Social Security most. The same goes for tightening SSDI rules. That doesn't root out fraud. It just makes it harder for honest people to get approved. Meanwhile, the real structural fixes, like lifting the payroll tax cap, which would have high earners contribute more, are stuck in political purgatory. They're unpopular with the donor class, so they never make it out of committee. So the system stays broken. And the people who built their lives around it are left navigating uncertainty, scams, delays, and rising costs with no clear answers. But here's the truth. You're not powerless. Start by protecting yourself. Verify your benefit status through the official SSA channels. Not third-party apps. Not pop-up websites. Go straight to the source. Next, double-check your direct deposit info. If scammers manage to reroute that, even temporarily, it can take weeks to fix. Be proactive, not reactive. And don't keep quiet. This isn't just about personal protection. It's about collective awareness. Talk to your friends. Tell your family. The more people know about what's really happening behind the scenes, the harder it becomes for scammers and politicians to exploit that silence. This is your money, your future, and you deserve a system that respects that. If you're tired of the lack of transparency, if you're frustrated by rising Medicare costs, if you're angry that reforms always seem to come at your expense and never the billionaires, you're not alone. So hit that like button. Share this with anyone on Social Security who needs the facts without the fluff. And subscribe for regular updates. We'll keep breaking this down so you can stay one step ahead. Drop a comment below if you've been impacted by any of this. Scam attempts, delayed help, confusing notices. We want to hear your stories. Stay informed. Stay skeptical. And above all, stay loud. Because when people speak up, things do change. And if you have any doubt or concern about your benefits, don't wait. Contact the Social Security Administration directly through official government websites or phone numbers. No one else can give you the answers you need. Your check is coming, but don't mistake that for peace of mind. The system needs work. And until it's fixed, we'll be here keeping watch.